Good morning, guys. I am going to attempt to take a few videos, short clips of videos, to help answer some homeschool questions. I have been homeschooling for 6 years, maybe seven. First of all, I would say that, as most of you know, if you're considering homeschool, a lot of thought and planning tends to go into it. Homeschooling and choosing to homeschool for your student um, is not an easy decision to come by. Um, so so I would say that good job in doing research. And I'm sure a lot of you are doing lots of research and asking lots of questions. I would recommend that you have lots of conversations with your partner, your spouse, or the parent of your child if you're not together, because the most important thing you can do for your child is be in is to be aware of their education and how they are doing in educating them for their future in life. And you want to make the best choice for your student first and then for your family. And I just highly recommend that you take a lot of time and consideration to choose the best educational option for your student. Our family has had our kids either home or in public school. We are definitely for educational and school choice. Um, we are very thankful that our school district has lots of different options for our students, and we've had a lot of conversation with the principals in our school and the teachers in our schools. We were very thankful to have such a great school district. So hopefully you also are able to be in touch with your school, whatever school district you go to. I would recommend that you have open conversation with them as you are looking for what's best for your student. Don't alienate yourself from the school district if you're happy with your school district, because there may be a time where your student needs to go back, or it may be required. Sometime our homeschool rights may be taken away from us. And so our family has approached the homeschooling journey with very open conversation with our public school system, and they have been a great resource to us. So that is my first number one recommendation for you and your family. But today I wanted to just talk briefly about what is the state requirement if you choose to homeschool. So the two main options that you have of bringing your child into the home to educate them is either going through through virtual school, which is what our school district calls public education at home. So if you choose to public educate at home, the school district will keep all of your records. They will register them with the DPI, which is the Department of Public Information. That department is in charge of public schools and public libraries. And so your public school then will register them with the state to say they are in their educational program. And then you will get curriculum from your school, and they will work with you in administering your assignments through the week, administering tests. They will keep all of those assignments, your completed work, and they will create a report card and continue keeping all of that information at the public school. Now, if you choose that you want to completely homeschool, which means you will no longer be in the public school system, your name will not be registered in the public school, then you will officially become a homeschooler. So, what is the requirement for homeschoolers? Well, I printed off something to help us go through what is legally required of a family that chooses to be a homeschooler. So homeschool has been legal in the state of Wisconsin officially since 1984. Before that, I think there were parents that were homeschooling kind of under the radar. But since 1984, it has been legal to homeschool your child, and there's a statute that kind of goes over what you need to do if you want to homeschool your student. So the first step, if you decide, once you decide to homeschool, is to fill out a form. It's called the form PI 1206, and you will fill out that form and turn it into the to the DPI. You have to do that on their website, so there's no paperwork. It's all on computer, and this is telling them. So you kind of officially become like your own separate school, and you tell them I think you have to say, I don't have this written down, but you have to say what grade they're in. You can say if they're just in high school or elementary school, or you can list a specific grade, and you have to say if they are male or female. And that's all you need to do. And then by filling that form out, you are saying, I will now be fully in charge, fully accountable for my students' education. And then in turn, the DPI through the state of Wisconsin has a list of criteria that you as a family, as a parent, educator, is required of you. Okay? The first thing that is required of you is to finish 875 hours of instruction in the academic year. So 875 hours, that can be anything you choose, and we can talk more about that later. But 875 hours doesn't mean that you have to sit your child down at a table or a desk, give them a textbook and workbook, and like what we all think of when we think of public school. In our school district, there are other options for public school kids. So those of you who have participated in some of those options might already have more of an understanding of what home education could look like, depending on your students' learning style. But this could be anything. But you are 100% responsible for the education of your child for those 875 hours. It's a minimum of 875 hours. So you can follow a schedule similar to the conventional school. Like if a time that works best for you is between, it's 5 hours a day for 175 days, taking off weekends and winter breaks, and you're gonna do 9 o'clock in the morning till 1 o'clock in the afternoon, then you can do that. But homeschool allows you to be flexible depending on what your family's needs are and where you live, if you travel for work. My kids are being loud behind me. So homeschooling offers so many opportunities for learning. And you, as the now administrator of your school system, can choose what your students' activities are for their education. Okay, the second thing that you're going to need to do is provide a sequentially progressive curriculum of fundamental instruction in these 6 subjects: reading, language arts, mathematics, social studies, science, and health. So that means that you're going to have to provide an educational plan for learning basic subjects in which a child can build on what they've already learned. So it needs to be sequential. It needs to get more and more difficult as they go on. You're also able to add in supplemental things at your discretion, or leave out things that you wouldn't want to teach. It's your decision on the supplemental things. Some of the examples it gives in this document that I printed off is music and art, woodworking, home ec. You can focus more on accounting. Maybe your student is very interested in construction, and so they would go to a work site and learn that way. That would be like a shop class. Maybe your student's very interested in computer science, and so you would help them take classes that are allowing them to just the things that pique their interest, they're able to learn more, and that is kind of the joy of homeschool. I know a lot of public schools do things like that too. um, but let's see, so let's go on. So the program is not operated or instituted for the purpose of avoiding or circumventing the compulsory school attendance requirement under Wisconsin law. So basically what that means is you will be operating a legitimate home-based private educational program and will not use homeschooling as a means to get around Wisconsin's compulsory attendance laws. So the law states that children that are age 6 by September 1st of that school year are required to be educating. So, and it goes until graduation. I can't remember the exact age that it stops. Some states it ends actually at the age of 16. That's why you see people that drop out of school and they don't arrest them because they're able to drop out of school. But if your student is 6 by September 1st of this year, they need to either be in public school or you need to register them as a student in your home school with the DPI. And we'll talk another time about what happens if they're 4 or 5 and you're going to school them. So that's a little different situation. All right, so how do I meet the requirement of a sequentially progressive curriculum? That is up to you, the parent and administrator of your school, to decide. So I think the vast majority of homeschool parents are very invested in their students' education, and homeschool laws in Wisconsin are very flexible, and that creates actually a really great learning environment for our homeschool students. So, so I think that's all I want to cover for today. So the first thing that you as a parent will need to decide is which one of these two best suits my student and our own family needs. If you're actually going to be homeschooling and you're taking full charge of your student's school, there will be a cost. There are some curriculums out there you can find that are free or very inexpensive, but homeschool curriculum can run very high. There can be a very high cost. So that would be something to take into consideration as well. If you virtual school with a public school, they cover all of your curriculum, but you're not able to choose what curriculum is your student is going through. And we'll talk about that too, about why the positives and negatives about that. If you have any questions you want me to answer as I do these videos, I'll be happy to answer them. Just post them in the comments below the video, and I will get to them and post more videos as time goes on. Thanks for watching, and best of luck as you do your research and decide what's best for your student and family. Thanks for watching, guys.